Hi guys, thanks for tuning back into the Diagnostic World video. In this video we're in a Land Rover. It's actually a Range Rover Evoque. We're going to run through the main common reasons why you would get an ABS warning light and the other messages on the dashboard of your vehicle. In this vehicle we've got the ABS light, we've got the traction control light and a few messages scrolling through the message center in the middle there. It can be quite worrying if you get it all of a sudden, all of these messages, because you're thinking, well, what does it mean? How many faults are there? The chances are all of these faults relate to one fault, so don't worry about it too much, because one fault in these vehicles can generally trigger other warning lights as well, and the ABS system is the worst for that, okay? In some Honda vehicles, if you get one fault, it can trigger 9 different warning lights, okay? So, and it makes the owners think, what on earth is going on? But we're talking about Land Rover today, so we've got a few different warning lights coming on here and a few messages in the message sender. The main reasons why you might get an ABS light, most common, and what I'll do is I'll run through this vehicle and we'll diagnose this vehicle's fault with this tool in a moment. This is the LR version 3.0 tool, so if you did have an ABS light and you needed to get it diagnosed, this is the one we definitely recommend. I'll put the link in the description below this video, but we'll come to that in a moment. So the 99% of the time, I would probably say that the most likely cause of an ABS sensor, an ABS fault, is an ABS sensor. So your vehicle has 4 ABS sensors, one on each wheel, front right, front left, rear right, rear left. And these sensors are always sending information through to the main ECU of the vehicle, okay? So each sensor has probably a lifespan really, and they can die after so many years, and that's probably going to be a most likely cause, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily say that if one goes you need to change them all. They can be done one by one, but just bearing in mind that if you're keeping the vehicle for a long time, you might eventually have to do them all, but I certainly wouldn't say do them all just because one's faulty. So that is the main reason why the ABS lights would probably come on. The next reason, probably something to do with the ABS pump, the ABS module. The ABS pump is responsible for sort of distributing and pumping the fluid all around the ABS system to ensure that the brake calipers and the brake discs can be effective when we need to brake the vehicle. So the pump can have an issue, or the fluid maybe leaking out, so there could be a leak within that fluid. So if that's the case, then you're going to lose pressure in that system. There's going to be a problem, so that can also be an issue. So you've got ABS sensors, ABS pump. You've also got the fact that it could be a faulty ABS module. So the ABS module is kind of like the brain of the ABS system, so that's responsible for collecting all of the data, collecting all of the information. And sometimes, depending on the placement of it, it can and depending on the conditions that your vehicle is in over its lifetime, it can water can ingress, water can get in, condensation can occur, and it could ultimately break the ECU. So that might need to be either sent off for repair or might need to be replaced completely. And those are the main reasons why you would get an ABS fault, but it still doesn't really give you the answer as to what the exact problem and what the exact issue is. And that's where this tool comes into play. So I'll pop the link to this kit in the description. As I say, there are fakes, there are clones, they can damage your vehicle. It's not worth going down that route, but I would honestly say that you'll need one of these tools for other aspects of the vehicle as well, because these vehicles, they're all electronically operated now. All of the systems have electronic components, so if you've got a fault somewhere, this is your best friend. So we'll click on to diagnostics and we'll go through the motions of diagnosing this fault. So I will go VIN identify, okay, read the VIN number, so it just does all of the hard work for you. We're going to go okay, then we're going to go and find the ABS system. So here it is, anti-lock brake system. Hope you can see this, by the way. And we're going to go to read fault code, okay? So we've got one fault, and we've got rear right wheel speed sensor circuit short to battery or open. So that's basically telling us that it's not finding any ABS sensor on the rear right wheel, and that's the fault code C0038-15. Now yeah, so basically it's telling us, if you weren't necessarily sure what any of this meant, then put it into a Google search engine. I can guarantee that if you're getting this fault, somebody else will have been getting it as well, and the answer will be online, all right? But this is what we've got. Now, we haven't done anything, we haven't fixed anything to repair this yet, so we won't be able to erase these warning lights. However, what I will show you is it's kind of double tied with the fact that some people get these tools and they think it'll automatically turn their warning light off without actually fixing any problems or any faults. And this will demonstrate that, because we haven't fixed anything. We haven't, the faulty sensor is still in there. So what we can do is we can go into clear fault memory, all right, and we go clear fault, erasing codes, erase operation done. Now you see, if we come out of this, all of the warning lights are still there. Yeah, everything's still happening, but we've reset everything. That's because the ECU is saying, hang on a second, I'm not happy that the fault has been fixed, so I'm going to keep the warning lights on. And we can go back into it to see if the fault codes are still there. They are, it's still there. So once we put a new sensor in, we'll then be able to come in, clear the fault memory, and then get rid of all of these warning lights, okay? And that is essentially how diagnostics works. You get your warning light, you use your tool, you find what the problem is, you fix the fault, fix the sensor, come back into the vehicle, erase the codes, and you'll get rid of the warning lights, okay? But hopefully that has given you maybe a little bit of an insight as to how the system works and how diagnostics works. And if you've got like a, you know, if you do have a fault with your your Land Rover or Jaguar, to be honest, because this works on Jaguar and Land Rover, you've got the ABS warning lights, you're freaking out a little bit because you think it's going to be really expensive. Once you've bought the tool, once you've bought the sensor, you could be looking at about £250, depending on prices of sensors, maybe 200 if you're lucky. Take that to a Land Rover dealer, it's probably a $500-600 job, or £500, $600 job all day long. The labour costs are so expensive, using their tools, using their parts, things like that, and their staff. Right, so I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to hopefully leave you with that information to know that it can be done yourself. It's quite easy to replace the sensor. Just requires taking the wheel off really, and a few basic tools to get the sensor out, put the old sensor out, put the new one in. But I'll pop the link to this in the description below this video. As I say, there are fakes, there are clones, they can damage your vehicle. It's just not worth going down that route. But if you are interested, then please do use that link and it'll take you to the genuine and official product. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this helps.